I'm rolling.
Never happy.
You're happy now.
You gotta look at the camera when you say that line, though.
Which one? You're happy now?
No, the
Sun
opening
given
line.
foods. When I say what?
The intro.
The intro, can't do that. I haven't memorized it yet. Okay, let's go. You've been running Facebook ads for 3 months, spending $2,000 a month, and your follower count is growing, but here's the million-dollar question. Are you actually making money or just buying expensive digital applause? I'm Josh, and on the Marketing FAQ, also known as the Marketing FAQ, we dive into real marketing questions, give expert answers, and actionable insights we found to supercharge your marketing based on 273 client projects that we've completed over the past 10 years. Joining me here today is our head of strategy, Carson. He has a ton of experience in this space, hence why he's here at Setsail. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit more about his experience and the impact that he's had in this sort of industry. So Carson, take it away.
Yeah. So my name is Carson. I am our head of marketing strategy at Setsail. I have over 15 years of experience in the marketing industry across many verticals, be it SaaS, be it automotive, D2C and e-commerce, as well as just your traditional lead generation for now our clients here. So yeah, that's why I am the subject matter expert.
Yeah. So ultimately, we have Carson here talking today. We're just going to go down through a rapid blitz of how to get the most out of your marketing. Whether you're a big business, small business, solo entrepreneur, or you have a team of 30 people underneath you. Carson's been through the trenches, so we want to talk about all the actionable stuff we learn by fulfilling our client projects, and hopefully it can help steer you in the right direction as well. So Carson, let's start big picture first. When a business owner asks you, how do I know if my marketing is working? What initially starts going through your mind?
Are you making money is the first question. Typically, it's the first question. It's like, are you making money? Like, what is the return on your advertising spend? What is your return on your market investment? Like, at the end of the day, are you making money? That's the end all be all, because that's why we fucking do it. Like, if we're not making money, what's the point?
Okay. So are you making money from your marketing? We've heard this time and time again with even the people that you and I get on calls with when they're learning more and want to see how we can help out. Sometimes they're unsure. So like, what are some of these common misconceptions you see when you ask someone, okay, are you making money on your marketing? They're saying, yeah, I think so. I think we're breaking even. Why is there this such big disconnect when it's such a simple question?
Okay, so the biggest disconnect is it could be multiple things. It could be how things are attributed. So like, oh, well, I know my sales are up and like I'm running ads, so that's why. Like it's just like a one-to-one correlation causation, right? Where in reality, it could be that you're actually wasting a bunch of money running ads because you have such strong organic traffic, or say if you're a store and you have good foot traffic because you're in a mall, you didn't need to. But you have, attached these two things. One must cause the other. Hey, that's how it's happening, which is not wrong. But without being able to say, I know this is why, you cannot tell me with any sort of confidence, yeah, that's fucking why I'm making money. Which is, again, a natural pitfall of running ads and just assuming that's why it's working. Or you have a marketing agency or a marketing team that is telling you that's why their success, and with either vague proof or limited proof of it being the actual reality.
Okay. So for a business owner that's in a similar situation as that, they're being told that we're making money, they're seeing the sales up, they know they have pretty strong organic, they're kind of like the domain people in their space, right? Where should that person start looking? What numbers should they start paying more attention to get an even clearer idea if their ads are even doing what they want them to do?
Well, before you even start on a metric, you need to make sure that your attribution is set up correctly. So, like, the metric is cost per acquisition, right? Or cost per conversion, right? Call it whatever you want, cost per lead, cost per sale. The thing that you have to think about is if you have not gone in and made sure that your attribution funnel, attribution funnel. So hey, X happens and we associate X result to this, right? If that isn't set up correctly, you'll never be able to tell. It won't matter. So,
And when you say attribution funnel, what do you talk about? Dumb that down like one
yeah,
more step.
okay. So if we're gonna, easiest way to explain it is, you go onto a website and say this website sells shoes. Okay, you're gonna go buy some new shoes. You go onto the website and you got there because you searched it up organically. You found this brand. You go onto the website. You go through the checkout. You buy it. Okay. If an attribution funnel is set up correctly, you would be able to go and say this exact purchase, right, without knowing who it was, can be traced all the way back to a search for the following query. Or in, say, a paid ads world, it's like, hey, this ad was clicked on and the person converted based on that. They bought based on clicking on the ad, and I can see their journey down the sales funnel.
Okay.
If that's not set up right, you can have a case where none of them are being attributed to it. So like none of your ads seem to ever sell because it's not connected right, because you're losing something somewhere along the way, or where that traffic is doing the inverse, where it picks up all of your sales, which means then you show overperforming. And that's where you start. You start there because, again, if it's set up wrong, it's broken from the fucking start. Nothing matters.
So it's about getting accurate data across, would a customer journey be business owners talk customer journey all day.
Yeah.
Is that a similar, is that synonymous with this attribution funnel? Understanding from clicking on an ad all the way to giving you money. Is that the same sort of idea, or is it set up in a different way in the actual attribution funnel you're talking about?
Okay, so customer journey, yes. You could have a customer journey that you're tracking and that's what you're doing, but you also have to go, hey, Google calls it the messy middle. Okay, that's what they call it, where there's a trigger point, they go into exploration, they go to evaluation, and back and forth until they hit their purchase, right, where they complete the transaction, if we're using an e-commerce brand, for instance. That could be the customer journey in one example of it, but for a lead gen, the customer journey might happen after the lead has been submitted. And it's the customer journey through your email automation, your marketing funnel that you've developed, or your nurture campaign funnel. That might be the customer journey on that side. So customer journey might be a phrase that can be used. It's used loosely. I would describe it more along the lines of, hey, do you know what does what? Like, just in the most lamest, simplest sense. Hey, when someone takes this action, what is the result and can you measure it? If you can't measure it, it doesn't matter. It's not true. We don't talk success until we can define that. Like, one of the first things that we do with our clients is go in and fix that stuff if it's broken. Make sure you're tracking the right things. You could track the wrong metric as a success metric and hurt yourself, right? So it's fixing that first. It's the walk before you run.
Okay, understood. Okay, so it's about getting accurate representation of what's happening all across the funnel, when, how, why. What's the most misleading metric you see business owners getting stuck on, getting excited about, putting a little bit more, too much attention behind, that potentially kind of loses picture of the whole thing?
Maybe it's platform specific sometimes. Like the one that I see some people latch onto and they're like, oh, this is awesome. It's like impressions. Impressions is useless. Impressions is a vanity metric. It is useless to your business unless your goal is to drive brand awareness. Because I could give you 2 million impressions. If you have a sub 1% click-through rate, it does not matter. It does not matter. Again, we go back to the initial question, did you make any money? Whereas you could have a brand that has 1,000 impressions, but has a 23% click-through rate because maybe it's super niche and you capture, 23% of that people click through your website, and then you convert at 8% of those people do, say, a lead form submission. Does the impressions volume matter in that case? No, the result at the end matters, right? It's always back to, did you make money? Mm-hmm. Especially when we're talking paid advertising. Did you make money?
For sure. That makes sense. A lot of people just got triggered being told that impressions don't matter.
Yeah, fucking tough. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, unless you're running a brand awareness campaign where the goal is, I need to make sure as many people out there see my brand, it does not matter if you don't get results on the other side.
And is that the difference between brand marketing when you have like a Coca-Cola that can spend $1 bajillion this quarter on their marketing and just need more top of mind awareness versus a local plumbing company that needs to see some sort of short-term return because they don't have as deep of a pocket as Coca-Cola?
Okay, so that's a unique instance. So in my so Coca-Cola. Think back to the last Coca-Cola ad you saw. What was it for? Specifically, what was the Coke ad for?
I remember seeing a polar bear.
Okay, that's from like the 80s, but yes. But like a more recent example would be like you see a Coke ad or you see a Pepsi ad or like Starbucks is another great example, big brand. We all know who they are. Do you see an ad for their cafe latte that they've had? Their cafe latte.
This man doesn't drink Starbucks.
No, obviously not. No, I'm a Canadian. We drink Timmy's.
I drink Starbucks.
Or the free coffee in the lunchroom. I am an inquisitive person. No, but like you see an ad for the new summer special. You don't see an ad for Americano that they've had forever. It's been their thing. You don't.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right? Tim Hortons doesn't run an ad for you to order a double-double. You'll see an ad for a small coffee for $1, right? But that's because you're actually advertising the price, not the product.
Like dollar drink days for McDonald's.
Exactly. It's a $1 drink day. Going back to the plumber, where the plumber needs a lead, the plumber doesn't care if you're going to go and get, and you now know that Josh's Plumbing is now the best. Everyone knows who Josh's Plumbing is. Does anyone use Josh's Plumbing? It doesn't matter. What are they doing? They care about you picking up the phone, calling them because you need a plumber and they were good enough for you in that moment, right? Whereas Coke is competing to drive sales to a new product because Coke Original sells fine without them helping.
Okay. So what are the potential pitfalls if Joey the plumber, local plumber, tries to advertise himself like a Coca-Cola? What happens for Joey the plumber?
Joey the plumber spends $2,000 and gets 2 leads and goes, fuck, paid advertising sucks. I'm never doing it again. And then he gets on a call with a marketing agency like ours and he goes, yeah, I tried paid ads and it doesn't work. And you're like, okay, well, like, can you explain to me what happened? And they go, well, I did this, and this, and it doesn't work. You go, well, it sounds like you did it wrong. And you didn't act with the goal in mind. Like,
and what should the goal be for Joey the plumber?
Make money? Like, it's everyone's make money. Like, it sounds stupid and repetitive, but like, hey, you're going to set up an ad campaign. Why? Like, ask why. Why do we do it? Who's it for? What? Why? When? All the normal 5 W's and an H. If he doesn't go and get a lead from his advertising, so if he doesn't get a lead from his advertising, was it successful? Would you even say it's successful?
No.
Exactly. So if you don't think it's successful, then he won't think it's successful. Now, if he goes and spends $5,000 and he gets 50 leads, right? His cost per acquisition in that case is $100 a lead, if my math is right. It could be wrong. And then say from there, his average job that he does is $580. So he makes $480 profit. So it's a roughly a 4.8 return on his advertising spend.
Yep.
Like, was that a successful metric? Yeah. Benchmark is you want to get 2 to 3 on a ROAS from your paid advertising. You want to double your money, right? And if I said to you, hey, give me $5,000 and I will triple it, are you saying no if I can actually do that consistently with any sort of confidence? Now, if I said, hey, give me $5,000, I'll make sure everyone knows your name. You still doing that?
Okay, so if the goal is to double your money, right, get a 2x rise, if not more. Depending on the client accounts, we've seen a ton more. 2 is our initial benchmark, sometimes a little bit more. We always aim to kind of under-promise and over-deliver. If someone's listening right now, doing marketing, not seeing that return, losing money, what are if they could only track 3 metrics, right, in that attribution funnel you're talking about, what would you recommend them look at and why?
Okay, if you could only track 3 metrics, you need to track your click-through rate, your CTR. You need to track your conversion rate, your CVR, and your cost per acquisition, right? If you have to track 3 things. I'm assuming you track profit at some point. Okay, like that's an assumption.
Well, that's a freebie. That's
a freebie. You need to.
That's
if you're
4.
not,
yeah.
we could have different conversations about how you're running a business and how you're still in business. CTR is your click-through rate. So, hey, from all those impressions that we don't care about, how many actually landed on your website? I.e., what percentage of people that are seeing you are landing there?
And that's the click-through rate.
That's your click-through rate.
Okay.
From there, you get to conversion rate, which is of those people who clicked and came through from your paid ads to your website, how many of them did the action that you care about?
Okay.
Okay, so say in this case, we're going to say it's giving Joey the plumber some leads, right? In that case, his conversion rate is the percentage of people that clicked on our ad that then submitted a lead form. And then your cost per acquisition is how many of those did you get as a total volume divided by the amount of money that it cost you to go get those. And that number matters because if it's costing you as much as you make per lead to get that lead, you could inherently be doing something wrong. It's too much competition. It's set up incorrectly. You're not reaching the right people. Like there's a lot of other questions that you start to ask, and that's where you start to use an agency or say a marketing expert to dive into and understand that to make it better.
Sure. To make those better decisions right across the board.
Well, exactly. And it could cost a high cost per acquisition could be because you have a low volume of leads. And that could inherently be because you've done something wrong somewhere up the funnel. Maybe your conversion rate isn't good enough. Maybe your click-through rate isn't good enough.
So speaking of those two, and obviously this is going to be very broad, but a lot of times the broad answers, the big answers cover a lot of it, the 80-20 rule that everyone seems to be talking about. So if you had to say for the click-through rate and the conversion rate, what's the 80-20? Like what's the 20% of big changes people can make to their click-through rate sort of optimization, conversion rate optimization to get a proper kind of CPA, let's say? What are those 20 things that lead to more or less 80% of the results on each phase of those funnel?
I mean, click-through rate is completely done by like messaging and targeting. Are you saying the right thing to the right person? You could have the best product in the world. You could sell the best product in the world and be giving it away for free. But if you're standing in an open, empty room, no one fucking cares. No one's there to buy the item. So it's who and how. How are you saying it and who to? From there, when you go to conversion rate, that's where you get into a lot of things like, hey, did what you say before make sense when they got there? So if your ad claims this, this, and this, or sells them on this one experience or dream, and then your website says something completely different, contradicts it, doesn't really reinforce it, they're less likely to want to continue doing business with you or convert at the next phase. Whereas they might if it does. So if there's a what we like, I like to say is like a holistic view is like it goes from one to another, or it could be the experience. And this is something that the first thing I've said to 90% of our clients is, when was the last time you opened your website and tried to do whatever it is you want your client to do on your phone, right? Mobile optimization is what you would think in today's day and age, the number one concern to people like us, and then to business owners. But it's always the last thing to be thought about. It seems when you're dealing with emerging businesses, SMBs, right, or even I guess incumbents, like people who've been there for such a long time. You have a legacy business. You're in the construction industry. You've been in business for 40-some years, and you've had a couple website refreshes here or there, but it never really overhauled everything because it was still working, and maybe your sales funnel doesn't necessarily completely rely on your website. Maybe your website's there to assist an outside salesperson. You still need to look at it and test it and hey, if you would do it with somebody else, oh, hey, when was the last time you opened up your own homepage and went, God, I can't even find where to submit the form? Well, that's a problem. You could have everything else be perfect, but if I can't easily give you my information or complete a purchase, it does not matter. I opened up an e-commerce website the other day, and the product photos were below a spec sheet, and the spec sheet was like a two push scroll, and it was just like a wall of text. I came from an ad for the product. So I saw a product picture. I wanted to see more product pictures. I got a wall of text, had to physically scroll twice before I got to a picture.
Tons of friction.
Not even friction, just stupid. Right? And I say it's stupid. I say it like
Not
that.
friction, just dumb.
No, it is dumb. It is just stupid because how easy is it to just go in and fix that?
For sure, 100%.
How are you as a business owner not aware of that? And that is 90% of the problem, is that you're just Oh, I have one. Oh, I have one. Oh, yeah, we're good. Oh, yeah, we do that. Do you? Do you do it as the top 90 or you do it as the bottom 10?
But that shows the difference between people just thinking that marketing is a box that you need to check versus pay a little bit more attention, dive into it, live and breathe in that funnel. Like, as you said, just go down through everything that you would want your client to do, and would you do it yourself, right? Like, it's simple things like this. We'd be out of a job if people did this all day. But it's the little things that it's kind of shocking sometimes that people don't pay attention to.
Well, you know what? And to that I say, like, what's better, the breathe in or breathe out? What's better?
I like a big breath.
Okay, so now you're never breathing out again. Like, no, you have to do both. You can't.
You got me on that one. You got me on that
Yeah,
one.
you can't,
got me on that one.
stop breathing. like, that's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, I have one. Okay, great. So it's great to take shallow breaths. Well, when you need to like deep breathe, is it capable? Like it's simple things like that are the most frustrating things as a marketing expert, as an agency, as someone who spends their time auditing and doing and looking at these things. And like we deal with a lot of small business. We deal with a lot of teams that are owner and like his team or like a set of partners or, you know, a CEO, and then he has like subsectors or he has a marketing and we're filling in a role. We deal with a lot of that. And to just be like, hey, like this is wrong, we should fix it. And then you're like, yeah, but do you have to? And it's like, oh my gosh, okay, now I need to spend a bunch of time explaining to you why you must do this. And whereas what's easy for us to say as the marketers going, yeah, just do it, like just fix it, make it better because this will make you more money, is not always as easy as a business owner, because the business owner might be looking at it as like, well, there's a cost to that.
Sure.
And then it's back to the whole, okay, there's a cost with everything. There's a cost to choosing not to. There's a cost to making mistakes.
For sure.
There's also a cost to success.
Yep.
And this is your cost to success.
People just see what's more immediate, and they can see and feel the money leaving their account today, but not the future prosperous return. It's why people don't know we need to eat healthier, but then we don't because the ice cream tastes real good today.
Yeah, I mean, like if you said, hey, do you want pizza every day or do you want a salad today? I might choose pizza every day. It's delicious, even though I know a salad might be better for me in the long run. But it's just seeing the forest for the trees.
Okay, so we're talking about knowing these different points across your funnel, knowing what you need to be paying attention to, the three big things being click-through rate, conversion rate, and then your cost per acquisition. Knowing the numbers so that you can find out where the key bottlenecks are. Where would you suggest someone actually track these? Is it enough to just open up your Google Ads Manager account and take a look at the numbers there? Are there any other tools or way of tracking these things that you found beneficial?
Yeah, like you can everywhere. Like it's not okay. Great example. You're interested in sports, right? There's a sport you follow, right?
Probably a lot of table tennis.
A lot of table tennis. Okay.
Yeah. I dabble.
You dabble. Okay. Say you have a stat sheet for table tennis.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just your stats. No anything else, just stats. Are you making every decision about how you performed based on that? No. So if you're doing your performance marketing and you go and look at it and you go, oh, all the ads and everything, all the metrics here look really, really good, right? Are you just, great, check, done, marketing's done? No, you're not. You need to go and look at, hey, like, okay, well, once they complete the ad process and they've got to there, like, let's go back to Joey the plumber, right? He gets a bunch of leads, right? He gets 50 leads a month. He spends $5K, so he gets 50 leads a month in this instance. And the ads look healthy. Everything looks really, really great. But all the jobs that he's getting, he's barely breaking even. He's not actually making any real money because he's not getting any big jobs. He's just getting small ones. Are the ads successful?
Depends on what you define as success.
Exactly. That's, again, come back to the beginning. Did you make any money? Well, yeah, I did, but not as much as I want to. Maybe he's only making a 1.5 ROAS versus making a 2 or a 3. So then it's like, okay, well, one thing that's not in that magical stat line is who and what are you saying and who are you targeting? Well, maybe the way that it's set up, you're targeting people who are always going to be lower value jobs to him because of what you're saying. Like maybe you have like, you know, cheap or budget, or you've done something with your language that's caused that to happen, that people are calling you for that specific thing. Maybe when they get to the website, you're getting a lot of those people because the website shows that you're really, really good and fast at those jobs, and that's all you're good at. And you actually aren't good at the upper scale jobs. So people who would consider you for that higher value ticket item aren't, and they're leaving and they're not converting, right? It could be something as simple as that. So
that makes sense.
It's never anything in a vacuum, right? There's also times where we've had clients where, a good example, we have a client who does consulting. Amazing ads, they're getting the right audience, they're getting the right click-through rate, everything, but they're not getting any conversions. Not getting any conversions. Oh, but go look at the website data then. Okay, how long are they spending on the website? Are they engaged? Are they clicking around? How many pages are they going to view? Are they bouncing? All those metrics look right. Okay, so what's happening? Oh, well, they're opening up the form and they're not submitting it. Well, why are they opening the form and not submitting it, right? Well, then you have to dive into that, and then you start looking at the form, how it's structured, how it's set up. You could not identify that by just looking at the ad account. You have to look at multiple sources of data to find out what's happening. It's not just correlation, causation. Ads are bad because not getting leads. Go figure out why you're not getting leads. There might be another reason outside of, ads just don't work.
That makes sense. Okay. This is pretty pertinent because we had a pretty deep dive conversation with a business earlier today. Privacy changes, AI disruption coming right across. As we mentioned, we didn't look at some stuff earlier today, and there's probably things changing in the AI landscape. It's constantly evolving. How do you see this marketing attribution funnel? What you need to be paying attention to, how you pull these levers? How do you see that changing with AI coming across the horizon here?
I mean, AI is a tool, okay? It's a tool in the toolkit. That's the best way to look at it. It's not something to be afraid of. It's not something to villainize. It is, it's like, if I was to go out and say to you, I could do this job and it's now going to take, it'll take me 20 hours to go out and do a job. And AI allows me to do that same job in 10 because a big heavy lifting portion of it can be done using AI. Are you upset as the client, or are you happier as a client because the work was accomplished in a better, faster method? Well, typically they like it when it's faster. Now, depends on how your marketing agency charges. If you're an in-house employee, faster is always better. You're paid regardless, right? You're there for 8 hours. You're stuck there for 8 hours. Our marketing agency, we charge fixed prices, right? So we're the same price regardless of the amount of time that it takes. What that allows us to do, though, is do more work for you, right? And you don't pay us for speed, you pay us for expertise, right? It's there's a very good speech done by one guy who was explaining like the value of his thing. It's like, hey, like, do you value time or do you value the product and the end result? Well, you always want to value the end result, but you also want it to be fast. And so if I can complete you, in his instance, he uses a logo. So if I could create you...
Was this Future? Futur? Some marketing bald guy Asian?
Yeah,
I heard
exactly.
this. It was fantastic.
It was awesome. No, but he says, like, if I could draw you up an amazing logo and it's in 5 hours, it takes me to do it in 5 hours, I think he says, or something to that effect. And he goes, hey, this is how long it takes. This is what it's going to do. This is what you charge. Well, you think it should be cheaper. In his example, he says, well, you say it should be cheaper because of the time it took.
Yep.
So then you're telling me you value speed over results.
Yep.
Right? So in that instance, it's the same for other things.
You get chastised for being good. Like if I can produce a superior result in less time, I get chastised because you think you should pay me by hourly. When realistically, speed is a factor.
Speed is a factor, and results are a factor. So when we go back to, hey, how AI affects all this, like AI is here to make you and I's work for the clients better, faster, because then you could also do other iterations. Think of it this way. If I use AI to help me do productization or competitive research on something, I could, as myself, do all the Google searches, or I could have AI assist me to do all the searches. I could then, using, again, it still requires human input. This is the thing that everyone needs to remember. At some point, I either need to prompt the AI to do something or review it for accuracy. Like if you're putting a prompt in, copy pasting it, presenting, you're an idiot, right? And yes, that is a bad use of AI, but then you'll figure out very quickly how wrong you are.
Okay, so let's wrap this up now. Dude, we were on fire. This is why you don't stop, hey? Okay, let's wrap this up with one core message. If someone just takes one thing away from this conversation here today, what should it be?
If you're not making money, it's not working. But it's plain and simple. If you're not making money, it's not working. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means what you're doing doesn't work. There's been lots of successful businesses that we've worked with where we've got in, looked at the way that it was built, looked at the way it's set up, and gone, yeah, okay, like, sure, it's a little bit of a fixer-upper, but you could do it, right? We've all seen people who buy and flip houses. Just because it's kind of crappy when you first look at it doesn't mean it's not salvageable. So, yeah, take away a core message. If it's not working, do something about it. And just because a lot of people are seeing it, if you're not making money, it doesn't matter. Like, plain and simple, right? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't, let yourself be, glazed, as they say now, by it.
Can we say that?
I think the kids say it. My daughter has said it to me at some point. I don't know if that means it's better or worse, but if it's not working, ask why. Be a toddler. Be curious, as that Ted Lasso quote is. But yeah, if you're not making any fucking money, go figure out why.
Yeah.
And don't just abandon your marketing because it didn't work this time.
Yeah, go fix it.
Go fix it. Yeah. Go figure it out.
Hell yeah. Cool. Well, listen, that's all for today. Each episode going forward is going to be built on these real hard-won lessons from the trenches, helping our very own clients grow, win, and reach the people that they're here to serve. If you found this valuable, you can subscribe on whichever platform you're listening to, and you can also check us out at setsail.ca to learn more about how we can potentially help your business grow.